Hello everybody and welcome to the AlphaTauri / Red Bull Road to Glory. Yes, I'm starting a new series. I'm going to start, how it's going to work is I'm going to start with AlphaTauri, and I'm going to hopefully impress Red Bull enough over the course of the season to move up, and then eventually be able to challenge for podiums, wins, and hopefully a first championship with Red Bull Racing. But first, before that, we got to get started here in Bahrain for the first round of the season. It's going to be a 16 round long season, starting in Bahrain, ending in Abu Dhabi as usual. But I've removed a few tracks just to get it, help the series progress more. So yeah, I am going to be posting quite frequently on this series, so make sure you stay updated on that. But either way, let's go ahead and start getting into practice. So here we are in the garage for our first race in Formula 1 with AlphaTauri. I'm super excited for this, so I'm just going to jump straight into it. I've already got the setup optimized and everything, so I'm going to head out and drive out for my lap.
Let's get a few laps under our belt.
So I am getting started here. I've already prepared my tires and everything, so I'm going to start my first lap of the season here in Bahrain for the pre-season testing session. Decent top speed on this car, down into turn 1. I could brake a little later there, up onto the curb, didn't mean to do that. Down through turn 1, or turn 2, excuse me. Flat all through here. Up to the braking zone of turn 4. Easy to lock your brake through here. Ooh, not the cleanest for me so far. Down through the twisty section here. Easy on the brakes, don't want to hit that curb or else that'll happen, and don't want to hit that curb or else that'll happen. Down into turn 9, hairpin-esque corner. Can make a move in there sometimes if you're an opportunist. Down into the awkward braking zone in turn 10, easy to lock a brake through here, so you just gotta be careful. If you're too wide, you could spin. Down towards a straight, DRS wide open, once again. Into turn 11, up, but that's just flat through all here, but don't want to touch this inside curb here, or else it will send you flying. And not the best lap from me, but also I haven't driven this AlphaTauri car before. I have driven on my team, obviously. I've been playing F1 games for a while, but still got a lot of work to do with this car. A 135.4, so not the greatest, even for an AlphaTauri. Just exiting the penultimate corner here, about to head to the final turn, and I'm up a lot on this next lap, not nearly as sloppy, nearly a second up on my lap prior to this, and that will be a 134.4, so a lot better than my other lap. I'm going to keep learning this track though, and learning my braking points and different lines to the corners. So we're back here at the end of the preseason testing session. I wasn't able to improve at all on that lap. On these hard tires, I couldn't fire the car up, but I'll continue acclimatizing myself on these other practice sessions. But the practice sessions in this series, I will not be showing. It will just be qualifying and obviously the race. So yeah, it was close between me and Joe for last, but Ricardo's 16th on the soft tires, so the slowest of the soft tires. But yeah, so this will not be a great start to the season, it looks like, but it is just testing, so we will see where we end up in qualifying now. Alright guys, so I'm here ready for the first qualifying session of the season. I spent some more time optimizing the car in the practice session, so I'm gonna head out for my first lap and I'll analyze the data after. Alright, so I just finished my first lap in qualifying, and I realized halfway through the lap that I left my fuel load on the practice load of fuel that I was running, so that slowed my lap down quite a bit, and I had a sloppy sector too, but all things considered, all that, and I still got P12, I am very, very confident here. Very, very confident. So I'm gonna wait a little bit until the track is optimal, and then I'm gonna head back out and do my last run in Q1. Alright, I decided to head out a little bit early for my last run, just so I have a green track. Only other car out right now is an Alfa Romeo. So, as you can see, already much quicker down the straights now that I lowered the fuel load. Down into turn 1, don't want to hit that curve there on the inside. This is not, I mean, I used to hate this AlphaTauri car, if I'm being honest, like the look of it. When the 2023 cars were being launched, I saw this. I could not stand it. But it's kind of grown on me over the course of this season. I liked 2020s probably the best. But 2021's was also pretty good. 2022 as well, but this one is just, ugh, I don't like the red. Well, I didn't like the red. I kind of like it now, but the orange on the front wing end plate, I can't do. I hate that. It's so, like, right down there, that sponsor on the end plate. Ugh. No. I hate the look of it. But yeah, the look of it has grown on me. So I don't seem to be improving as much as I thought I would. And it's because I didn't change my tires, that's why. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm an idiot. I didn't change my tires from the ones that I just used, so this is a scrubbed set. If I box now, will I have enough time? Too late now. Shoot. Alright, well, let's hope that that's enough to get me through to Q2. Well, at the end of the day, that mistake cost me 16th. But I did out-qualify Daniel Ricciardo, a very high-regarded driver. 8-time race winner, of course. Coming back to his old team. But overall, you know what? I'm pretty satisfied. 16th on debut. I'm convinced I would have been able to make it through if I would have gotten my tires put on, but Alex Albon making it through as well, and Bottas. So we'll see where qualifying takes them as we line up for the grid for the big race.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round 1 of this year's Formula 1 World Championship. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Perez, Sainz, Russell, Hamilton, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Ocon, Oscar Piastri, Bottas, Hülkenberg, Albon, Gasly, Taylor, Magnussen, Joe, Ricciardo, and Logan Sargent. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as once again we get another year of Formula 1 underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice. They've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Alright, well, here we are in the car, ready for the first race of this season. I am super excited. I did notice the top 4 in qualifying covered by 84 milliseconds. That is crazy. So, obviously a tight race between Red Bull and Ferrari today. I'm going to lower the fuel load just a bit, and I think softs to mediums will be the way to go, so let's get this underway.
Right, here we go then. The formation lap gets underway as the drivers prepare themselves for the first race of a brand new Formula One season. Each driver will be hoping to start this season on a high note.
So, everyone below 10th, so 11th to 20th, are all running the soft tires. It's a decent mix of mediums and hards in the top 10.
As the cars make their way back to the starting grid to form up and get ready for lights out, let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one that will go down as a memorable Grand Prix in the history books.
Well, I sure hope Cropty's right, because this race is going to be the first impression towards Red Bull for us. My main goal today is beat Ricardo. First person you're measured against in Formula 1 is your teammate. So, lining up on the grid ready for the start. Let's get a clean getaway. Lights out and away we go here in Bahrain. And I'm going to get squeezed up against the wall by Valtteri Bottas. That was a big no-no. Big no-no. Reminiscent of Barrichello and Schumacher in Hungary. I don't remember what year that was. 2010, I believe. And already making gains at the start of the race here. So I get to challenge Nico Hülkenberg for 13th position. Down into turn 4. And I just got to back out of that. Didn't want anything to happen in terms of damage to my AlphaTauri. Get all out of shape down through this twisty first sector. Down to the hairpin-esque corner of turn 9. Up into P14 from P16 at the start of the race, so not bad at all. Down into turn 10, try not to go into the back of anybody. Get a great exit out of turn 10 there. See if I can use this straight line speed to my advantage. No, Hülkenberg's going to power it in the straight, but I'm going to try to swoop around the outside down here at turn 11. And no, it's not going to happen as I get tagged in the back by Pierre Gasly, I think that was. And that was very close. So let's take a look at what happened here with Pierre Gasly. I go a little bit wide, and then he just, barely there. Just the slightest touch of the wing, and that was very close. Anyway, continuing on here in Bahrain. Nico Hülkenberg ahead of me, Valtteri Bottas behind me. Leclerc leads at the end of the first lap, excuse me. And we have got a little bit of gap to closing up. Hopefully the Constantine effect will help us into turn 1 and turn 4 here. And already it does, look at that. Gaining a few tenths through that corner. Up the hill towards turn 4. Somebody's side by side up there fighting. I believe that's Fernando Alonso and Alex Albon fighting up there for 12th position. We're going to go side by side through here. Is Alonso going to make this move stick? That is very, very, very opportunistic through there. And they're still side by side. Alonso's going to try to go up the inside at turn 9. They're still side by side, heading down towards a tricky braking zone at turn 10. Is Alonso going to get forced wide by Alex Albon? No, he's not. This is a great battle up here. I got the best seat in the house. Myself and Nico Hülkenberg. They're still going side by side down this straight into turn 11. And Alonso has got ahead of Alexander Albon there. And wow, what a great battle that was from the two drivers. That was superb.
You're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Mark there just tell me how DRS works, even though I guess this is my first race, but usually I complain about it. But Albon and Alonso fighting once again, and I'm going to have DRS up the hill. Try to make a move around the outside of Nico Hulkenberg at turn 4. And can I make it stick? Ooh, I don't want to go into the back of Fernando Alonso there. That was very close. But Alex Albon has gotten back past the Spaniard there. And Hulkenberg, I think we made contact there the way I threw my hand up down into turn 9. This is going to be very tight. Didn't mean to change out of that camera position, and he is going to get back ahead of me. That's also, I believe, will give me DRS down this back straight, but crucially also will he on the the Aston Martin, excuse me, ahead of Fernando Alonso. So we've got quite the race on our hands here. So pit window is lap 9 to lap 14. Depending on how bad my wear gets, I might try to extend a little bit, I might not. I'm not sure. Speaking of tire strategies, I also want you guys to let me know down in the comments if you would like to see more of this, or if you want me to do a F1 Manager 23 series that I could start. Or maybe a little bit of both. Just let me know down in the comments what you guys want. So I'm going to get a nice little slipstream there. It's Alonso and Albon still battling down into turn 1. This is a great scrap they're having, but losing time to the points positions ahead. Up the hill and try to go around the outside of Nico Hulkenberg. Second time lucky, maybe. I'm going to hug a little tighter and just slam the door on him. And I have got past Nico Hulkenberg up in the 13th place, and Alonso and Albon still going side by side through here. Down towards turn 9. And Alonso's tires just starting to come alive a little more than the soft runners, myself included. Down into turn 10. This is so tight between the two of them. I'm going to try to see what I can do from here. Alonso's going to have that outside, or the inside line, but I'm going to try to go out the outside, almost off the track I went there. That was very close indeed. Heading now back up towards the penultimate corner. Oh, cut the corner a little bit there and hit the bollard. My apologies for that. Just gotta get a good exit out of the final turn. Been using my battery a little too much, gotta conserve it. And now heading down the back straight, tucked in the double slipstream of Fernando Alonso and Alex Albon. DRS wide open. Here goes Alonso on Albon.
Leading our teammate by 3.8 seconds.
And Alonso has got ahead of the Williams of Alex Albon. And we're going to have a great exit up the hill. DRS wide open, but so Alexander Albon. I'm going to fake it, switch to the outside, see if I can do the same thing I did on Nico Hulkenberg. No, he's just a little too far ahead for me to do anything here. I'm gonna have to wait for another opportunity for the next DRS zone, see if I can make a pass on Alex Albon in the Williams. I'm gonna send it down into turn 9. Risky move for myself there, a little bit of wheel banging between the two of us, but for the most part it was pretty clean, as I'm gonna head down towards turn 10 here, and he's gonna force me out wide. Little bit of contact there, aggressive defense from Alex Albon there. He has DRS, and Fernando Alonso is starting to pull away. Just gonna try to keep it nice and tidy through here. I'm not sure if I have damage. Vehicle condition.
Please repeat, you're breaking up.
For God's sake, Mark. Vehicle condition.
Didn't receive that. Repeat the message. Repeat the message.
Is
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
See how simple that is, Mark? See how simple it is just to tell me how my freaking car is doing. Anyway, up now, gonna try to have the inside line into turn 1 here, starting lap 6 of the Bahrain Grand Prix in 2023, and I'm gonna squeeze Albon almost onto the grass, be late on the brakes, down the inside. Just gonna try to hook a move up around the outside of turn 2, and I've done it. And I'm also going to have the DRS up for this back straight here, up into turn 4. I'm going to see if I can catch Alonso at all. and just gonna settle into a
Gap to the
groove.
car in front is 3.0 seconds.
Settle into a groove from here and keep my tires and fuel managed. I mean, drivers having one season, their rookie season in a junior team and then moving up to a senior team isn't completely unheard of. I mean, look at Leclerc in 2018 with Alfa Romeo Sauber, which is, I guess, kind of a gateway to Ferrari for some people.
Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 3.5 seconds.
Moving up to Ferrari in 2019 and getting 2 wins back-to-back that season is, I mean, a remarkable accomplishment for Leclerc. And I'm trying to think of other drivers like that. Sebastian Vettel in 2008, of course, winning for Toro Rosso at the Italian Grand Prix.
Okay, be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now.
As Mark says, my tires are starting to get a little bit worn. 40%. I mean, Bahrain is notorious for eating up the rear tires. I'm trying to manage them as good as I can, but I've been pulling away from Albon a tenth or two each lap, but not really gaining anything on Fernando Alonso in front of me. And there's a yellow flag ahead. It's one of the Mercedes drivers out of the race with a mechanical failure, and it looks at George
Here's
Russell.
some information on Russell for you. Right, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
George Russell out of the Grand Prix, and that is a very dangerous place to park your car. They really, really need to get this, I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's just, I don't know, but cars parked like that on the side of the track, there needs to be a safety car. It's how it would be in real life. So they need to get that added into this game. Come on, Cody's. Get that added into this game. And this lap should be my box lap.
Push now, we're boxing this lap.
Alright, I'm gonna push just everything out of the tires that I can and box this lap. I'm gonna go onto a fresh set of medium tires. And I'm gonna actually bring the front wing down just a notch. Down from 29 to 28 so I can move a little faster through the corners and maybe a little bit down the straight, because a mile or two an hour can make all the difference. So boxing this lap, gonna get it nice and tidy into the pit lane. Don't want to get a penalty.
AlphaTauri driver's stopping now.
Okay, so is Ricardo behind me pitting? No, so it's me. He's talking about me. Okay, great, thanks for the info, Mark. Finishing 9th in the constructors last year.
Okay, go, go, go. That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting.
Very, very good stop there from AlphaTauri.
Up to
Come out of the
speed now,
pits.
let's get some heat into the tyres.
In 16th. But ahead of everybody else who already boxed. I'm gonna have to get these cold tires warmed up quick. Man, when you put on a fresh set of boots after you've worn your old tires out, you feel so quick. You feel so quick. Gives you a lot of confidence. So there should be some other soft runners coming into the pits now, I believe, yes. So we're gonna be ahead of them. I love the way these...
Daniel's in for his stop.
Good to know. I love the way these mirrors look on the car at the end, those little like end plate winglet thing. I don't know what you call them, but I like the design of the mirrors on this car. So gonna be back up in P11. A few other drivers need to stop. So I'm actually gonna check that now. So Sainz, Norris, Stroll, and Alonso. So Alonso, who was 3.5 seconds ahead of me, I think, when I boxed. So if he comes out of the pits and I'm ahead of him, I could have a real shot at scoring a point here on my debut. That would be absolutely phenomenal. Just trying to keep the car nice and steady.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 8.4 seconds.
Alright. Gonna start closing the gap up to Fernando by the time he boxes. Let's hope I can do an almighty undercut.
managing your tyres. Manage your tyres. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 13.3 seconds.
Gonna try once again for the old switcheroo on Fernando Alonso. It's not gonna work though. He's just gonna get a little bit more grip. I'm gonna have DRS once again tuck into his slipstream. Gonna pull out the last minute, dive down the inside of turn 4, but he's got it covered. Compromise my line through turn 4, and that was a great battle that we had over the past few laps. But still, need to clear him if I want to score my first point on debut in Formula 1. This is not going to be something to miss. Down to turn 10 once again, need to get a nice exit here, and I hit the bollard. That was not the best display of driving ever. I've used too much battery, and now he's a second ahead of me, so I need to start getting closer to him. Need to stay focused. Fernando Alonso is now out of my DRS range. So I need to do a recharge lap and just get myself back on track. My tires are starting to fall off just a bit, so I'm gonna have to get myself back on track and just recharge my battery. So this car doesn't have a whole lot of harvesting energy, or harvesting power I should say. The ability to harvest energy is not the greatest, but Alonso's just been pulling away from me now, and this has given a chance of Alex Albon, I should say, to catch up to me in that Williams car. So I think points are off the board now with just 3 and a bit laps to go, or 4 and a bit. Gonna head down into turn 10 once again. Little wobble on the exit there, but still 1.1 ahead of Alex Albon. Not 1.1 for long. It's going to be about a second as we head down into turn 11. And I'm just going to try to stay out of the DRS range, because that Williams is no joke in a straight line. It is very fast in a straight line. Turn through here. Okay, so he's 1.1. See. Okay, so he's not going to have DRS this lap, luckily. But he is going to have more energy to deploy rather than myself. So in the last 2 laps I've only gained about 5% back, so not an easy place to recharge my energy. Similar to Miami, in a normal car that can recharge well, this one can't though.
Enough fuel for 3 more laps.
So Miami, I'm not going to be able to recharge anything whatsoever. So there's not really any heavy braking zones into Miami that can recharge a battery. But there is here, turn 1 and turn 4 at least, and this corner down into here, and turn 10. So why it's not working, it's not clear to me. I'm going to have to discuss that with the team after the race, see if we can get this issue fixed, or I'll just be stuck with it all season. But Alex Albon, I'm just starting to pull away from him now, but I'm not gaining on Alonso at all, so let's see if we can stick to 11th. The team has just informed me that we are fuel limited, so we're gonna have to start entering our lift and coast phase down for these last 2 laps here. So I've saved a little bit more battery just in case Albon decides he wants to come for me, but I believe he will catch up to me if I start this lift and coast, so I'm gonna have to manage it if I don't want him to get into the DRS zone, because once he's there, it'll be hard to keep that Williams behind. Been doing some lifts into the first sector, saved a little bit of fuel, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough. Just trying to manage it so that I can make it to the end without Alex Albon getting into DRS range. Very difficult to manage that. Down in the turn 10. Get there. Ooh, another wobble on the exit. Now Alex Albon's going to get a far better exit than myself. Lifting down into turn 1. Still need to do a lot more on this final lap if I'm gonna make it to the end. I'm pretty satisfied. Fighting for a point in my maiden, I should say, I'm sorry, maiden Grand Prix is I'm happy with it. I'm content. Hopefully
Okay, you just started the final lap of the race. Final lap.
Hopefully I'll be able to contend for points a lot more later throughout the season and impress Red Bull. Let's head through turn 2 for the final lap of this race. It's Alex Albon 1.4 behind me. Gonna do big lift into turn 4. Haven't been doing nearly enough. 1.1 now behind Alex Albon, who once drove for this team. I'm in back when it was Toro Rosso in 2019. Head up the hill now. Down into turn 10. Don't know if he has DRS or not. I don't know if I want to find out. Once again, big lift down into turn 11. Max Verstappen wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Sergio Perez comes home for second, and then a Ferrari driver in third. I would assume.
Okay, gap to the car ahead is 9.6 seconds.
That's Charles Leclerc. And now as I head down the back straight to the final corner of this magnificent race circuit. As Ocon and Alonso finish 9th and 10th, I'm going to come home for AlphaTauri to finish 11th with my maiden Grand Prix.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Brilliant stuff from Red Bull today. What a superb victory. And talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sports that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. Let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. Max Verstappen now leads the Drivers' Championship. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Often my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings, and Red Bull take over as championship leaders. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Well, another win for Max Verstappen and Red Bull. Checo Perez finishes second and takes the fastest lap of the race, and Leclerc finishes third, followed by Sainz, Hamilton, Norris, and Piastri. Piastri making a good recovery, good points for McLaren. Stroll finishing 8th, Ocon 9th, and Alonso dropping 2 positions, 10th. Myself starting 16th. We get up to P11, fighting for a point at one point. Alex Albon finishes 10th for Williams, followed by Pierre Gasly, Valtteri Bottas, Kevin Magnussen, Nico Hulkenberg, Zhou Guanyu. Our teammate Daniel Ricciardo finishes 18th, Logan Sargent 19th, and of course George Russell had that DNF. As it stands, Verstappen leading the championship by 6 points, as it always is at the start of a season. In terms of constructors' standings, though, Red Bull leading from Ferrari by 17 points, followed by McLaren, and then Mercedes, of course, only scoring 10 points since Russell had that DNF. Aston Martin, Alpine, then ourselves at the top of the non-point scorers in 7th, Williams Racing in 8th, Alfa Romeo in 9th, and then Haas in 10th to finish off the constructors' standings. It was a great race, no incidents besides the little thing with Pierre Gasly that we had at the start, but if I'm being honest, I would have liked to be a spectator in that race, to watch that Alonso and Albon battle. Absolutely superb. I'm actually gonna show the replay here just now so we can see just how much they were fighting each other. Well, here we go then, lap 4 of 20, and Alex Albon on the inside of Fernando Alonso. Oh, so close around there. They were fighting like hell. Albon on the softs, and we were watching this as we were behind Nico Hülkenberg. Just through that dust there. I'm trying to make a move on Hülkenberg. I don't make it through, but Albon, I do make it through that occasion. And Albon, they go side by side through this first sector. Absolutely insane racing. The amount of respect they have for each other and trust that they'll leave each other space. Down the inside goes Alex Albon once again. And they're going to go side by side up towards turn 10 now. And I think Albon does keep it within track limits. Look at that. Look at how close their wheels are to touching. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic racing here from the pair to not make contact. Absolutely just superb driving from both of them. It's amazing what they're doing here. Through this dust once again down towards turn 11, and as it clears, I go out to the outside, almost off the track, trying to make a move on Fernando Alonso there, and I don't make it stick. But that is an absolutely superb race between these two talented drivers. Well, at the end of the day, it was a decent result for ourselves on our maiden Grand Prix, and I'm so excited to keep this series going. Drop a like if you enjoyed this, and make sure to subscribe and turn on that bell for more content just like this. As I said during the race, let me know if you want more of this, or if you want an F1 Manager career mode, and I can do a little bit of both. Just let me know in the comments. I am absolutely elated from this, and I'm so excited to continue this journey with you guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next round.